gonna walk over here.
Don't show me.
I won't. Okay, I'm live. I'm at Alki Beach, Seattle. Meets the Seattle or the Puget Sound. Very great place to be. Look at this dog. Can I film your dog? Yeah, I'm doing a live stream. Hiya, Poochie Woochie. Boy, oh boy, old English sheepdog. Yeah, friendly. Careful. Okay, cool dog. Where am I? Okay, so here we are, live stream again. There's the Space Needle way down there, if you can see it. There's ferry boats going across over to this island, Bainbridge Island. It's a nice place. This is salt water, of course. So, let's say, well, nobody watching. Nobody watching, Seta. Nobody watching, so I'm gonna show my face. Oh, anyway. Well, nobody's watching, so I'll just start telling a story, and I will save this so somebody can watch it after I'm through. So I'll talk about going to Sweden with Ismail Aviso and a guy named Sven. Lives in Stockholm, and he contacted me via email a bunch of times, and he's interested in the free energy stuff I do, and he said he had government funding and all this support from these big shots in Sweden, and he has a company called Hydro Atomic, and he was into the HHO hydrogen reactors. He built some of those. He had a laboratory. He was gonna have the Saab factory at my disposal with a team of workers working under me, and I got Ismail Aviso to go along too, because he was making some car motors that would run on so many amps and then but output more amps than were input. And Ismail tried out my cone head motor with the bucking coils and the regauging magnets, and he said he got it over Unity first attempt he did, and I sort of like that. So I was talking to Ismail a lot via email, and I told Sven, hey, you want Ismail to go? He's like real genius guy. Ismail can write with his right hand and his left hand at the same time. Can write a letter to Joe with his right hand and Frank with his left hand. It's a very ingenious guy. He took some tests in Philippines, and he was the highest score, some electronic stuff, and he went to the UAE and he actually set up their cell phone system and towers and everything while he was over there. It's one of his first jobs. So he's a smart guy. He's a funny guy too. And he's real religious. He's in a church where all the men sit on the right and all the women sit on the left over in Philippines. And anyways, so he went with me. He didn't go with me. I flew over to Sweden. And then Ismail followed in a couple weeks, or about a week later, I'm not sure. A few days later, he came later, and from the Philippines, and I came from Seattle. So when we get there, there was all these high hopes and promises of fantastic laboratory, all these people working under us. And Sven had this project where he's going to take steel shipping containers, and he's going to have the shipping containers inside of them first have free energy electricity being made, and then also gas, and also being able to make water from the air.
I will make stream.
Okay. And still nobody's watching me.
Nobody?
Zero.
Oh, I don't know.
So I'm just,
Interesting how if I do.
yeah, nobody watching me.
Okay, I will do
Oh, one guy's watching me now. Hey, whoever this is, hey, how you doing? So I'm telling a story about going to Sweden with Ismail Aviso to make some free energy projects over there. This was about 2008, 2009. And, uh-oh, that person already dropped off. So anyways, anybody watching this, you're going to have to do it after this is all over.
Let's see if I do.
I think the time of day is like everybody's at
Okay.
work.
I make it.
So,
Hello. I good. Так, ну что, давно я в стрим не выходила. Скучно сидеть, мы приехали сюда, на Алтай.
okay, so I'm making a story right now. I haven't had anybody listening. There's one guy now. Hello. God, I need my glasses to see this. I'm gonna go get my glasses. So I'm at Alki Beach in Seattle. It's very nice here. Hey, pup. And I thought I'd tell a story about going to Sweden with Ismail Aviso to make free energy stuff for these people. A company called Hydro Atomic, run by a guy named Sven over in Stockholm. And he flew me from Seattle to Stockholm, and he also shipped a big rotoverter motor and a molar generator over there too. It was pretty expensive to do that. And then also Ismail Aviso went over too, who's a raving genius. And Ismail had made a car motor that made more amps output than input. Where are my glasses? I got my glasses now so I can see what you guys are saying. And so Ismail went over there. He came over a few days after I went over. We were supposed to have unlimited funding, being able to have the Saab factory, SAAB, you know, the Saab cars, Saab factory at our disposal, and a team of workers under us. All these big promises were made. And so we went over there. And actually, they didn't have a lab ready for us, and the Saab was going out of business. They're being bought by the... Okay, who is it? Silver Sobe. Hey, how you doing? Your stories rule the live streams and online uploaded. Yeah, there's only 2 people watching, but I'm gonna, you know, save this later and people can watch it even though. Okay, so we're going over to Sweden. And Ismail had made one of my cone head motors with bucking coils and regauging magnets and pickup lines and stuff, and he got it over Unity first try, so he was writing to me in emails, and so we kind of became friends. And then I convinced these guys in Sweden that you should have Ismail go over too, because he has fantastic stuff. And so he went over, and when we get there, he didn't have a hotel for us at first. It was kind of, and we had to run around. We finally got this hotel to stay in, and we were in Stockholm for a few days, and then we went over to, what's that city called? It's where they have the Saab factory. It's over in the western part of Sweden. God, I can't remember the city. But that's where we were based, and we were supposed to have a team of workers helping us, and all this unlimited government funding and all this stuff. But none of it happened. What happened is there was a movie company filming us when we got there. It's like 2 weeks they were with us, and maybe 3, and it was really fun with these guys filming all the time with these big cameras. A serious movie company. And that's how Sven, who was running the show, the guy of Hydro Atomic Company over in Sweden, he hired I think this is how he got all his money, is somebody was investing in this movie, and we were the stars of this movie. Like when I first get there, they have all the airport roped off for this movie company to film, and I had to walk down carrying my suitcase like it's some sort of scene in the movie where the free energy guy from New York is arriving, you know. And so that was kind of fun, having the movie company around, but it wasn't like what we expected. So Sven has this project that his investors were investing in, I guess, and he takes a steel shipping container and he divides it up 3 ways. One is to make gas, like hydrogen gas, like the HHO stuff. The other one is to make free electricity, like that was supposed to be my thing and Ismail's thing, because he had this, he calls it repelling force, where he has a 2,000 volt DC cap discharge. Did the movie ever release? No, they never released the movie. It was some Zeitgeist German company. Yeah, it never got released. And but they took a lot of footage. So Ismail had this fantastic stuff called, he calls it the repelling force. You can see he has a lot of videos on YouTube about it. And in Sweden, he had like a 12-volt battery. It wasn't as big as a car battery, but kind of smaller size battery. And he put it into an inverter that made 2,000 volt special inverter that put out 2,000 volts DC into a big capacitor. And then he had a coil that weighed about 1 kilogram, about the size of a softball, and he'd shoot this up into the air from the cap discharge into this flat coil on the bottom of an aluminum tube that the coil shot out. You can see it. Repelling force Ismail Aviso. After we went, it was amazing. It's just boom, this thing goes way up. Electromagnetic railgun, maybe you could call it. But what's interesting is the coil it wasn't magnets he's shooting up. He says if you shoot up magnets, they degauss almost instantly from the power of this 2,000 volt DC cap discharge. And it wasn't, I thought it was at the time, like the gray motor, you have a north coil facing a north coil, so you do north-north bucking, blast it up in the air. But actually it turns out to be that it was a coil shorted out, like the ends of the coil are shorted. So it's a big blob of copper coil that's shorted out, and that's what gets knocked up into the air. Very interesting. So I think he'd figured out like the resonant frequency of this coil as it's shorted out, and then blasted it with this 2,000 volt DC cap discharge at a rate that made the north-south, north-south, north-south oscillations match up. So you get a north and a south and a north and a south. So you just get pure power. Plus it gets recovered back into the cap somehow. This is how I understand its repelling force. And after we came back from Sweden, there's this millionaire guy down in the Cayman Islands, and he wanted some free energy stuff down there. So I set him and Ismail up. I was going to go, but last minute they didn't want me there. So Ismail went down there and he took a video, and I told him, don't use one of these big batteries, use like a little 9-volt battery so people can really get a clue about what's going on, you know. And so he had a 9-volt DC battery, like 200 milliamps, 300 milliamps or something. And then he added 2 double A's, so he'd have 12 volts. And that was his power supply. He needed 12 volts for his inverter. So anyways, in this video that you can watch on YouTube, Ismail Aviso repelling force, if you search around, there's this big white 3-story building, and he shoots this coil up, I think it's 14 times, maybe 11 times, way up there, 32 feet, 35 feet high. And he does it a whole bunch of times, almost a dozen times. I can't remember right now, but maybe 11 times. And he has a fishing net, and he catches it as it comes down. And then he missed catching it one time, and the coil hit the ground, and it kind of shorted it out, and then he had to stop doing the experiment. But he started out at 12.7 volts, and after shooting that thing up 14 times in the air, his voltage was still about 12.1 or so. It's all in the video. So he hardly used any energy for all this huge power he's getting. It was really amazing. And he did this in Sweden, and they filmed it for the movie. And I was like helping him out all the time because I thought his stuff is so cool. But I kind of ignored my own stuff, my own Muller generator spun by a rotaverter AC motor. How many pillows you sleep with? What? What the heck? Some sort of AI question popped up. So, what happened? So we had this movie company, and they rented this workshop space, kind of out in the forest in the mountains in Sweden, where they repair and maintain all this logging company equipment, all these machines, vehicles and stuff. And this place was so cool. It was just spotless workshop out in the forest and everything. And so this was a backdrop for the movie. Like, look, we have these two inventors here making free energy stuff to save the world type of thing. And this was kind of supposed to be our laboratory in the movie, you know. It was just an awesome place. And so they did some interviews with Ismail and me there. And then all these investors were coming over in the morning. And I hadn't done a thing with my stuff. I was just helping Ismail all the time. And the guy Sven goes, you know, you better do something. These guys are coming in the morning. You haven't done anything with your motor generator stuff. And I go, oh yeah, you're right. And so he said, I have to stay here all night. They'll be here at 8 in the morning or something. And I want you to get your thing looking really good. And so it's not just a bunch of wires and stuff. And I don't know, I don't think they ever even had a title for the movie. But it was like Zeitgeist people. Anyways, the name of the company was Hydro Atomic, this Swedish company, kind of a dumb name. And anyways, so I stayed overnight by myself with my Muller generator and rotaverter in this super cool, huge workshop. And overnight, and preparing my thing for these investors coming over for presentation in the morning. And while I was there all night, there's this ghost was bugging me all night. He would pick up one of these great big heavy work gloves and make it go up in the air, then come down, like about 5 yards away from me. I saw that happen. And he would go like the ghost sounds like woo, you know, stuff like that. He'd do that trying to scare me. And was constantly bugging me. And I was like, just leave me alone. I have to get this done, you know. Leave me alone, stupid ghost. And it was like really obvious that this ghost didn't want me there and he's trying to scare me away. And so I just kept going. And in the morning, I asked the guys who worked there when they came in to go to work, I said, God, this place is haunted. There's like a ghost hanging out here. And they said, yeah. There used to be a guy who worked here all the time, and he was always here, and he died here. And this place is so awesome. It's like heaven for like a mechanic or something, you know. And so that was interesting. And also when we were staying in this hotel, Ismail and I would go into the lobby to use the internet. And then while we were in the lobby, we see all these bright flashes in his room the door was open and you could see all these bright flashes coming out of his room. Uh-oh. My wife it's cold now. She's down there. And we'd go, what's that? Is your TV's on or something? It was like, between channels, and we'd go up there and no, it's nothing. No TV on. We don't know what those flashes, and we go back to the lobby and it happens again and again. It's like some sort of ghost going on in this hotel too. So whatever. And what happened? Let go. Okay, I gotta go pretty soon. So anyways, so I stayed there for like another month and a half during the summer, and Ismail went back home. They wanted to get all of Ismail's secrets for his motors and stuff, but he wouldn't give them to him unless they paid him a lot of money for, he called it transfer of technology. What changes have you made on your motor generator from back then? Oh, quite a bit. I got the rotiverter to run on really low power. I made different generators for it, different size, double rotors. Did a lot of work on that. I gotta go now. I could keep talking. I have so many stories. You guys heard about the Eugene Maloff thing, and these Swedish guys, they called me up right when the war with Ukraine started with Russia, and they were worried they're not going to have any power. And they asked me what I got, and I sent them a VIGT transformer I was working on. But that's another story. I want to talk about bit transformers too. If you guys watching this, check out Tim Tron and his three-phase transformer. He puts a cap across the center phase, but he doesn't connect the center phase to anything, and a cap across the output phase, the C phase, and it goes to the load. And as a load, he has a heater element taken out of an air conditioner, and then he puts in 120 volts AC 60 hertz over on the primary phase on the left, the A phase, and he tunes it. It's a 92 MFD cap on the center phase, which is not connected to anything. It kind of absorbs the back EMF. And then over on the output phase, he resonates the output with a 20.75 MFD cap. And he's making 5 watts in, 1500 watts out into this heater. And he's like kind of eliminates the back EMF. He calls it dissolves it. And right now we're talking about this on EV Gray. That's my discussion group. EVGRAY at groups.io. It's about 200 members there. And Tim Tron put this live stream he did just a couple days ago up about this thing. And it's very, very awesome. And we're kind of like discussing how this thing works on EV Gray. I just wrote a big thing about it. I think it's like the back EMF, that's the magnetic force. That's not the flyback. It's the magnetic inherent force that always happens when you load the secondary of a transformer, and it doesn't make it back to the primary. It gets kind of stuck or blocked or absorbed or dissolved into that center phase, the center leg of a three-phase transformer. And it makes a time delay, so when, for instance, the primary is at the lowest point, like let's say if it was looking at electrically, like at the 0 point line, 0 point, if it's AC, right there's nothing happening, you know. So when that happens over in the primary, but I'm talking about the magnetic force. When the magnetic force is at 0 for a brief instant, that's when the back EMF is allowed to enter that center leg of a three-phase transformer, and it doesn't make it back to the primary. So basically you have a transformer with no back EMF, no Lenz's law, and how much you make is according to whatever your load is, you know. So it's really interesting. He just put this up, Tim Tron, and look at his video, live stream video with, he shows the kind of an orange sun with some electrical wires in front of it as the thumbnail. Okay, well, bullet. What's bullet mean? I don't know what she's saying. Okay. That's my wife. Your live scenes are not getting uploaded after. Yeah, you know, I didn't know. I've only done a couple live streams, and I didn't know you're supposed to save them when you're done. You know? So I'm going to make sure I save this. Because I only have, like right now, 2 people watching. So, I'm going to sign off. I'm going to go over to my wife, because she knows how to work this stuff, and make sure I save this. Hey Sveta, how do you save this when I'm through? Okay. The guy was just saying mine don't get saved.
Oh, okay. Hi guys. My name is Sveta. So we will tell you goodbye. See you next time. And we will save this stream.
Yeah, save it.
Thank you for watching and comment to chat. Remember, you always tell.
It's only one guy, Silver Sobe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, absolutely.